This is Mindfulness with Richard Clarke. I focus on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Today, we dive into frustration and mindfulness. Frustration is a common human experience, but practicing mindfulness can be a game changer in dealing with it. Let's explore this a bit, and then I'll share a guided meditation with you. First, understanding frustration. Frustration often arises when things don't go as planned or when we face obstacles. It's a natural response, but it becomes problematic when it lingers and affects our well-being. Mindfulness doesn't aim to eliminate frustration, but rather changes our relationship with it, allowing us to respond more skillfully. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When frustration kicks in, it's fueled by our thoughts about the past or worries and concerns about the future. There's a gap between what we want and what we have, and this gap brings mental tension. The bigger the gap, the greater the tension. Then, if things are just not working out, it's frustration when that happens. If you feel that there is something blocking you from getting what you want, mindfulness brings us back into the now, helping us observe frustration without getting entangled in its emotional web. Frustration is driven by our desires. Mindfulness opens up another way to deal with it. With mindfulness, you can be in the present moment and be happy where you are with what you have. This diminishes these desires that are at the base of frustration. Mindfulness gives you ways to deal with frustration. It teaches us to accept our emotions without judgment. When frustration arises, mindfulness is about acknowledging it without labeling it as good or bad. This non-judgmental awareness creates a space for us to observe the frustration without getting entangled in its narrative. You just let it be there. Notice and don't react. Frustration often comes with a story, a narrative about why things shouldn't be the way they are. Mindfulness helps us recognize these stories and understand that they are just thoughts, not necessarily facts. By breaking the identification with our thoughts, we can prevent frustration from spiraling into a prolonged and intense experience. Next time you're frustrated, ask yourself, what's the story? One fundamental concept in mindfulness is impermanence, the understanding that everything, including emotions, is temporary. Frustration, like any emotion, will ebb and flow. Mindfulness allows us to ride the wave of emotions, knowing that they'll eventually pass. The breath is a powerful anchor in mindfulness practice. When frustration rises, focusing on the breath provides a stable point of awareness. It grounds us in the present moment and prevents us from getting carried away with the turbulence of our emotions. I think of this as a substitution strategy. You substitute the feel of your breath for the ideas of frustration. Mindfulness encourages the development of patience, both with external circumstances that cause frustration and with ourselves. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can learn to respond with intention and understanding. Patience becomes a tool for navigating through challenging moments. Frustration can often lead to self-criticism. Mindfulness promotes self-compassion, encouraging us to treat ourselves with the same kindness we would offer to a friend facing a similar situation. This shift in perspective can significantly soften the impact of frustration. When, while mindfulness involves being present with our emotions, it doesn't mean passivity. It's about responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. When frustration comes, mindfulness allows us to choose actions that align with our values rather than being dictated by the intensity of the emotion. The beauty of mindfulness is in its integration into daily life. It's not just about sitting on a meditation cushion. It's about bringing awareness into every moment. This includes routine activities like walking, eating, and even washing dishes. By infusing mindfulness into these moments, we build resilience to frustration in our day-to-day life. Now, we'll have a guided meditation for frustration. First, think about a recent frustration. Use it as a focus for the process we're going to be doing. The stronger the feeling, the greater the frustration, the better. So just keep the frustration in your mind as we go through this. We're going to start with a body scan. Bring attention to your breath. Take a few deep breaths. Then slowly scan your body from head to toe, noticing any areas of tension or discomfort. As you breathe out, allow these areas to relax. Scan your whole body and feel it relax. Now shift your focus to your breath. Notice the sensation, the feel of each inhale and exhale. If your mind starts to wander, don't judge yourself. Just gently bring it back to the feel of the breath. Now turn your attention to the frustration that you're thinking of and feeling. Feel it. Don't push it away. Instead, observe it. Just look at it. Notice the physical sensations associated with the frustration: tightness, heat, restlessness. How does it feel in your body? Is there some specific place in your body that you feel it? What ideas and thoughts come with the frustration? Just notice them. Don't follow them. Just notice. Often frustration has a physical component and a mental component. And if you look at those, you can start to open it up. Now, frustration is based on desire. What desire brought you this frustration? What's at the base of the frustration? Is it really so important? Can you be happy if you don't get your desire? Can you just let go of the desire? Now, one thing you can do is mentally label the emotion. Say to yourself, "This is frustration." Naming the emotion creates a little bit of distance, making it easier for you to see without becoming overwhelmed. It puts the frustration external to you so you can just observe it. Now, with the frustration in mind, as you breathe, imagine inhaling a sense of calm and exhaling the frustration. Visualize the breath soothing the tense areas in your body. Breathe in calm. Breathe out the frustration. Maintain a non-judgmental awareness of the frustration. Remind yourself It's a passing experience, and you don't need to identify with it. Be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up for being frustrated or for having desires. These are all normal. Just bring all of them into awareness so you can short circuit compulsive behavior and just be with them until they pass. You can shift your focus to something you're grateful for. It could be a person, a place, something that happens, the present moment even. Gratitude can counterbalance frustration. Now, bring your awareness back into the room. Notice how you feel. Take a moment to appreciate the time you dedicated to your own well-being. And remember, mindfulness is a lifelong journey. Each moment is an opportunity to practice, and with time, the benefits become more evident. Mindfulness is a skill that develops over time with consistent practice. So, how's your meditation been, Barley? I know it must be hard with your son here.
I know I didn't meditate. I guess the main thing I've been trying to do from before was feeling my feet when I'm
When you're
walking.
walking, yes.
Yeah, but I have to keep reminding myself because when I'm walking, I feel like I have more thoughts than when I'm seated.
Huh.
So I'm working
Uh-huh.
on it.
Uh-huh.
I'm here today, so that's good.
Yes, yes. That's very good. How about you, Joyce?
I've been finding the evening meditations. I go up on the roof, I do some
Oh,
Duolingo, and then I sit and just, in one of the chairs and meditate. And that's been really working well for me, a nice way to end the day. And I generally have a little more time then than I do first thing in the morning. So
Uh-huh.
it's been really good.
Uh-huh. How about you, Carol?
I've been listening to another guy, I've been two-timing Richard, because I've been listening to this guy called Sunny Sharma and his guided meditations, and they are really good for me. But I was also going to comment on, Richard told me that I was going to be particularly liking this topic because I do get frustrated often. And I think, and interestingly, I couldn't quite recall the last time I was frustrated, but I know this will be really useful when I am, even if you're not around, Richard.
Okay.
And
So
if Sunny Sharma isn't there either.
the last time I was really frustrated was our daughter, and I was thinking of her. And there's really nothing like your adult child to bring out the frustration.
Oh, yes, yes.
They can push those buttons, yes.
yeah.
Now, one thing I've been doing in the morning, I've been trying to increase the time I'm meditating each day. And so in the morning, I walk about 7:30, and when I get back, I sit down and meditate. And I've been trying to meditate 45 minutes in the morning, and most of the time that goes well, and they're good meditation. Then Carol and I meditate 10 or 15 minutes in the afternoon, and so right now I'm meditating about an hour a day, and that actually feels good.
Impressive.
So now, for a change of pace, let's meditate. Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we're going to have a video with another Zen story.
High atop a hill overlooking a vineyard, there lived a clever fox named Ko. Every day, Ko would gaze longingly at the rows of lush, ripe grapes hanging heavy on the vines below. "Oh, how I wish I could taste those sweet, juicy grapes," Ko said to himself. Though he was cunning, the fence around the vineyard was too high for Ko to jump over. One hot summer day, Ko's mouth watered as he looked down at the vineyard. The grapes seemed bigger and more tantalizing than ever. "I must have those grapes," Ko thought. He backed up, got a running start, and leapt towards the fence. But Ko did not jump high enough and fell short of the top, tumbling back down the hill. Ko picked himself up and dusted off his fur. Looking back at the grapes, he said, "Those grapes are probably sour anyway. I don't need them." And he walked away. The same thing happened day after day. Ko would stare longingly at the vineyard, his desire for the grapes growing each time. He tried everything he could think of to reach them, stacking up rocks to stand on, trying to climb the fence posts, even digging a tunnel underneath. But nothing worked, and Ko grew more and more frustrated. One day, Ko's friend Tanuki the raccoon came by. "What are you up to, Ko?" asked Tanuki. Ko explained his repeated attempts and failures to get the grapes. "Why don't you just look for some other grapes?" suggested Tanuki. "There are plenty of wild grapes growing in the forest." "No, I must have those grapes from that vineyard," insisted Ko. "I just know they must be the most delicious grapes in the world." Tanuki shook his head. "Don't be trapped by your desires, my friend. There are always other paths to walk." But Ko refused to listen. His mind was stuck on obtaining the one thing just out of his grasp. That night, Ko had a dream. He was sitting under a tree in a beautiful forest clearing, surrounded by bountiful grapevines laden with ripe, juicy grapes. As he reached up and picked them, their sweet juice filled his mouth and trickled down his chin. Ko ate his fill, feeling completely satisfied and at peace. Just then, a gentle voice spoke. "Little fox, why do you trap yourself? All you seek is already around you, if only you open your eyes to see." Ko looked around and realized the forest was full of grapevines, their branches bowed under the weight of abundant fruit. He had been so focused on the grapes in the fenced vineyard that he failed to appreciate the grapes within his reach. Ko awoke with a start. The dream had shown him how his obsession with the unattainable grapes had left him empty-handed. By fixating on that one desire, he had become blind to all the other possibilities around him. Ko now understood that true freedom comes from looking inward and being content with what one already has. The next morning, Ko went back to the hill overlooking the vineyard. But this time, his perspective had changed. As he gazed down at the grapes that had consumed his thoughts for so long, he realized how they had trapped him in frustration and discontent. "Those grapes were just an illusion. My true sustenance lies elsewhere," Ko said out loud. No longer bound by desire, he felt a great sense of freedom and lightness. Just then, Ko noticed some movement in the bushes nearby. It was his friend Tanuki. "Ko, what are you doing up here?" asked Tanuki. "Aren't you going to try again for those grapes?" Ko smiled. "No, my friend, I'm finished chasing illusions. Let's go see what blessings the forest has to offer today." And so Ko walked away from the vineyard without a backwards glance. He knew that genuine happiness comes not from chasing desires, but from savoring what one already has. For the first time in a long while, Ko felt truly content. This is Narrative Dreamscape. Thanks for watching.
Now, let's take a few more minutes for meditation. Close your eyes and take a few moments to become fully present. Take in everything presented by your senses Be present here and now. Feel your breath in and out. All right. And let's close with a chant. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Now, comments, discussion? Quiet. That's good. You're maintaining the quiet from the meditation.
That's right.
That's perfect. So thank you for coming together again, and Happy New Year to everyone, even if you didn't go to the party. And good meditation, and we'll see you next week.
Very
Happy
good.
New Year.
Thank you, Richard.
Bye-bye. Namaste. You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.